had prior felony charges. Neither the general nor Cab had been able to figure out the connection between Tennessee and Two Willows yet, but they hoped they would, with Ron's help. 4 times trouble had arrived from the east. 4 times the men the general had sent had fought them off, with help from his daughters, he admitted reluctantly. Some of the interlopers were dead, some had escaped, others were in jail. When Ron was extradited, Cab's counterparts in Tennessee had begun to work on him, trying to get him to finger the man at the head of the organization who was causing them so much grief. Ron had finally started to cooperate. He'd agreed to wear a wire. Now he was gone. The general paced around the room. "I held off telling you because I hoped we could find him in time," Cab explained. "What happened?" "He turned up dead last week. Another man was with him, also deceased, apparently shot by Ron." "Last week?" "Calm down, General. We were trying to find answers before we let word get out, and we did." The general forced himself to be patient. Cab wouldn't keep him in the dark without a good reason. "What did you find?" "The other man was the head of the organization. Remember Bo Ellis?" "Of course I remember him," the general snapped. Bo Ellis and his twin nephews had gone to Chance Creek ostensibly to start a horse breeding business. Instead, Ray and Harley had tried to kill his daughter Lena, steal her prize stallion, and burn down his family's home. Ray and Harley were dead now. Bo had skipped town too fast to be apprehended. "Bo's father-in-law is the one behind all this mess. His name is Duke Manson." "Duke Manson?" The general stopped in his tracks. "Did you say Duke Manson?" "That's right. You know the man?" "Could be. It was a long time ago. A real long time." Somehow he knew it was the same man, though, which meant that all this fuss and bother, all this danger unleashed on his daughters, might be his fault. The muscles in his neck, already tight, got tighter. "What's the connection?" The general appreciated the way Cab got right down to brass tacks. "We were at boot camp together. He was one of those jokers you wondered why they even bothered to enlist. Hated the Army. Hated everything it stood for. Hated the discipline and the drills. He was bringing in drugs, all kinds, passing them out like candy, getting people hooked, then taking their money. I turned him in." He'd do it again in a heartbeat. The Army didn't need men like that. "You think he held a grudge? For 30 years? The general thought it over. "I don't know. Maybe." "You think this is the end of it? Manson's dead, so it's over?" Cab was quiet a long moment. "My gut says no. Sorry. Wish I could say otherwise." The general's gut was saying the same thing. "What's your thought process?" "From what we can gather, Manson's organization has been half-assed for a long time. He was squeezed between 2 other major crime families with no room to expand. So he looks around. Where else can he go?" "Chance Creek, Montana," the general answered for him. He started pacing again. "That's right. Maybe Manson's been tracking your career, the way we track down our high school nemesis on the internet. Hoping he's having a lousy life. Instead, you've risen to a general's rank. You have 5 daughters, a beautiful ranch. Maybe Manson thinks he can kill 2 birds with 1 stone, expand to Montana and cause you some grief at the same time. I don't think he was the sharpest tool in the shed." "You're right on that." "Sharp enough to cause trouble, but not sharp enough to make it to the big time. He sends Bob Finchley, who almost pulls off marrying Cass, and getting his friends to marry your other daughters, before your girls catch on to what they're doing. He sends Ron Cooper and Grant Kimball, who try to kidnap Joe. Bob, Ron, and Grant are young men, probably only been with Manson a few years. They can't get the job done, and Bob and Grant both end up dead, so Manson goes up the ladder to one of his lieutenants, Ramsey."